What if consciousness, our inner sense of order, could be reframed as a kind of entropy export? Carl Sagan's Contact taught us to listen for order in cosmic noise. We use that wager as a method, not a belief. This is the solar hyperdata experiment, SHE, a pre-registered program that treats a disclosed design fiction as an organizing scaffold for statistical tests. At its center, entropy, measures of uncertainty and complexity. Instead of scanning the stars for messages, we interrogate solar flares and ask, do their symbolized patterns align with pre-registered biological symbol libraries? Today, theory, methods, the SHE protocol, and what positive or null outcomes would mean. Let's start with the theory. Information erasure creates heat, maintaining models costs energy. That is the physical hook we build from. Landauer's principle gives a lower bound. Erasing a bit costs at least kTln2 in energy. We anchor this protocol in a fourth-order simulacrum, an explicit, low-prior design fiction inspired by recent advances in protein design. Now, the theoretical framing in more detail. We'll translate theory into measurable endpoints. Entropy, mutual information, algorithmic complexity. Deep dive next. Shannon entropy quantifies uncertainty. Higher entropy means more unpredictability in a signal. Landauer tied logical irreversibility to thermodynamic cost. Erasing information produces heat. If brains maintain predictive generative models, they pay energetic costs to reduce internal uncertainty, exporting entropy to the environment. Three lenses: information and heat, organized compression and predictive dynamics, measures of integrated structure. Organized compression is how models represent regularities. Compression reduces redundancy but requires updating and sometimes forgetting. Integrated information theory proposes phi as a measure of irreducible causal structure, how tightly a system integrates information. Under the free energy principle, living systems minimize variational free energy by balancing accuracy and complexity, trading energetic cost for reduced surprise. Empirically, neural diversity and algorithmic complexity fall under anesthesia and rise in certain psychedelic states, suggesting a link to conscious processing. Algorithmic complexity proxies like Lempel-Ziv and normalized compression distance measure compressibility and pattern richness. Two sequences with different structure compress differently. This gives us a measurable handle on complexity in time series. With those tools, we can ask a concrete question. Do symbolized solar time series statistically align with biological symbol libraries? We pre-register symbol libraries, codons, canonical motifs, composition matched and scrubbed of human actionable regulatory sequences. Windows of analysis are fixed from light time latencies of 8 minutes up to 8 hours post-flare onset. Takeaways: entropy is measurable, maintenance of models costs energy, and complexity metrics give testable endpoints. Next, how she turns this theory into a pre-registered experiment. The SHE protocol federates public heliophysics data. Primary streams goes XRS soft X-ray irradiance and complementary EUVS lines, public time-stamped and archived. Streams are detrended, z-scored, then discretized with adaptive quantile binning so flares don't dominate symbol counts. This converts continuous solar curves into symbol streams we can analyze like text. Symbol libraries are composition matched and sanitized. Sigma includes codons and canonical promoter motifs. Surrogates are created by order scrambling and composition matching. Nulls include phase-randomized and IED-AFT surrogates that keep spectrum and amplitude but destroy alignment. Endpoints: Shannon entropy, mutual information with sigma, and algorithmic complexity proxies like Lempel-Ziv. Analyses are hash-locked, pre-registered with adversarial collaboration, and controlled for multiplicity via permutation FWER. We audit irreversible operations, erasure counts, then compute lower bounds on energetic cost per Landauer to produce an entropy budget. Effect adjudication requires replication, holdout windows, and step-down permutation control to limit false positives. Practical scope: we restrict to 8 minutes, 8 hours. Day-scale CME dynamics are out of primary scope. Recap: public heliophysics data, symbolization, strong surrogates, and entropy-centric endpoints. To show reporting format, we provide an explicitly fictional example next, clearly labeled, then, uses, ethics, and the concluding stakes. The following is fictional and only shows reporting format. Illustration: across 42 X-class flares, symbolized streams showed MI excess of 0.018 bits versus surrogates. LZ decreased in lockstep. Enrichment concentrated on ATG, start, and stop codons. Consistent with chunking rather than explicit messages. An anchor event, if it ever occurred, would be a single datum for updating under skeptical priors. The anchor remains low probability. 1. Use motifs as initialization seeds for in silico models, not biological recipes. 2. Synchrony tests. Time-lock diegetic anchors and re-evaluate Bayes factors. 3. Treat motif prevalence as an analog to episodic segmentation in predictive processing. Crucially, fictional examples and empirical analyses are segregated. Hashed code, pre-registration and replication guard against apophenia. Ethics, observational analytic, no bioengineering instructions. Downstream claims limited to statistical structure and energy accounting. Limitations. Apophenia and forking paths are addressed via pre-registration. Retrocausal claims remain unsupported. A disclosed simulacrum functions as an epistemic scaffold, not evidence, when paired with rigorous pre-registration and adversarial checks. Like contact, the wager is disciplined listening. If the sun a constrained generator whose fluctuations provide material for principled tests, all data are public. Links, accession instructions, and code hashes are in the description for those who want to replicate or extend she. If nothing else, null results tighten bounds. If replicated deviations appear, they face the burden of mundane mechanisms first. Thank you for listening.